It's not so much the 6 or 8 hours, it's the few minutes between when you're done and when you're waiting for the heart to start up again. And that's really the sum of it, because there can be a minute or there can be many minutes.
The surgeons came out and talked with me in the waiting room. And they said there was a lot of bleeding and it was really hard to sew her up. And initially that was sort of worrisome for me. Like, okay, is it ever going to stop?
You basically have a heart there that's sitting there flaccid, and all of a sudden it starts moving. And it's a remarkable sight to see this sort of inanimate object come back to life.
She didn't look like she had gone through an 8-hour surgery. She looked healthy, and everything moved quickly from there, I think.
My most distinct memory was waking up with a breathing tube down my throat. And it's an awful experience.
And she was waking up and she was really complaining about it being intubated. And
I remember, this gagging thing, but I also was like, okay, I made it, I'm here.
Within, I think, 8 hours, 10 hours from surgery, she was up and sitting in the chair next to her bed.
She just flew from day one. It was clear that, like I said, she wanted to move beyond being sick and move on to being healthy and moving forward and enjoying herself. She's had a few bumps along the way. I think most transplants have, but for the most part, it's been an incredibly positive experience for us and for her.
My recovery was full of lots of visits to the U for follow-up.
Everybody at the U, they provide an exceptional service.
It makes it so much fun to work in a place where everyone has the same goal. And the goal is to get our patient the best experience when they have to be in the hospital, and make them feel like we do all we can to make their stay in the hospital more pleasant.
People here really care overall about the patients, regardless of what their position is. And so I don't think this is a unique experience that happened to Emily. I think that most patients get care throughout the spectrum of the hospital, where people really are doing the best they can. And the end goal really is to provide a service to the patient. That's why we're all here.
It's clear in our hospital from top down and from bottom up that everyone has the same goal. And that's why we're so excited that our new wing of the hospital is opening, where in addition to having the great team, we'll have a facility that's really top-notch.
Not only do we have the new hospital setup, which provides private rooms for all of our patients, but we've undertaken this exceptional patient experience as put forward by Dr. Loris Betts. We want people to be involved in their care, that the more people are involved in their care, the better they're going to have, the better they're going to believe in the outcome.
And I think being a good advocate for myself plays a role in that. I heartily encourage everyone to do that. And they're receptive to it at the U. That's the important thing.
She looks you in the eye, she asks you very direct questions, and she wants to know when you'll be back. So it's hard to not have a direct connection with a patient like Emily.
The first year is really the biggest year in terms of the risk of rejection and, I guess, unforeseen consequences. And I've made it through that, and I think that's a huge achievement.
She was just here for her annual exam, her first annual exam a couple weeks ago. And so it's great to see somebody go through the whole process of heart failure management, being listed for a heart transplant, getting the organ, and then that first year kind of celebrating 1 year post all of it. And she's done well.
I never would have expected a transplant. I never would have expected the incredible love and support we have received, both from our families and from what we call our Utah family, all our friends here, our community here.
If it wasn't for just the random kindness of strangers, I wouldn't have a family, because I have adopted 2 boys and then had a heart from some total stranger.
I'm really appreciative of the gift my donor and his family gave me. I'm appreciative of this second chance.
I think we have to all be grateful to these families that they give this huge gift, and which results in patients like Emily to be able to take care of their children.
I think the bottom line is right now, the immediate future is be with the boys, be with my husband, enjoy the outdoors, You know, I got to ski again this winter.
She was really appreciative when we were out skiing, and it was just sort of a wow moment when she was back on the slopes, and it hadn't even been a year, and she was out there skiing again and with a new heart.
I think Emily's probably going to be able to ski even more than she did in the past. And I think she's going to get to do all of the things that she's wanted to do and things that she's dreamed about doing, and probably to be able to do them to an even greater extent than she had before.
I think I sort of stop and take stock more, maybe. Like one of the things I love the most about skiing is we both telemark ski, and I don't care so much about the speed anymore, but just I'm up there, and part of it is just the views. Those little things, you know, just the wonder of life.